Ah, 3-link. Well, does have better energy shield. Maybe I can make it into something nice. Ah, level 34. Perfect for those essences that I've been collecting.
When the time comes to strike, an emperor strikes without hesitation. To entertain doubt is to dance with death. The Asmeri were consummate survivors. They had to be, having been sired in the most inhospitable range of mountains in all of Rayclast. Unfortunate, some might say. I do not. I believe it was the making of them, and of us, their descendants. So it is no wonder that they developed the Lord's trial. With survival being a moment-by-moment concern, that harried people grew to understand power quite intimately. Strong leadership is able to bridge the chasm between existence and extinction. Poor leadership might see an entire tribe vanish into that same chasm. When the Asmeri descended from their mountains to conquer the fecund lands of central Rayclast, they thrived and multiplied with utmost alacrity in those more forgiving climes. For is it not poverty that teaches us how we might excel in times of plenty?
Not as much as you might think, sir. But that's a discussion for another time. I love how the game gives stashes like this. Well, blah. Oh wow. That is extremely good. Alright, so we already have some profit from this. Big increase to maximum life, but no, I need another 4-link piece before I can use this. Is it worth an orb of fusing? Probably not. Definitely not worth an orb of binding, even though that would be amazing. Ah, I'm a slave to endgame stuff. Even though I never even made it there. And this flask of resistance would be great on a Quicksilver flask, but whatever. Now is not the time for worrying about that sort of thing, I think. Wow, this is great. How am I doing? Alright, I have good resistance to... well, actually max resistance to fire and cold. And moderate resistance to... oh boy. I'm gonna need that too.
The Emperor beckons, and the world attends.
Oh, I wonder what this is about. Oh, my R's are gone. Or at least one of them is. Well, I think I get the idea. I think I need to destroy these mirrors. Wow. This time I'm definitely not leaving them alone. I may have made a mistake earlier. I'm working on it, sir. Good to know.
Show me your resolve.
I'm trying my best, sir. Well, I'm really glad that this build is good at crowd control. Well, maybe not crowd control in the usual sense of stunning things, but killing large numbers of moderate strength enemies. Oh, I blocked that. Very nice.
You are inexhaustible.
I sure hope so.
The Emperor alone is just a man.
I don't actually know what's in here, which is not an ideal state, especially in this game. But I'll try to make do. Wow, another strong box. Oh, there's a necromancer here. Go away. No one likes your style. Ahem. More items. Cast Psych's note of another rogue exile. Wow. Alright. I can't really retreat that way, so I'll need to create more running space this way. Okay, looking good. Well, how do you like that? I suppose you can't answer me since you're just watching this video. Alright, the first of many defensive nodes is not here yet because I had one more strength node. I mean, extra health is very nice to have, don't get me wrong. But there's better stuff ahead. And just in case I panic and dodge the wrong way, I want to clear out this direction too. Except there isn't even anything here, so it's not a problem. There you are. Well, you didn't last very long, did you? You need to gear up those elemental resists. Otherwise, some rogue exile like me is going to seriously mess you up. Alright, let's check them links. Oh, rare ring. Very nice. Yeah, guarded by a rogue exile seems more of a bonus than a penalty, provided, of course, that I survive. Those things are serious loot explosions.
The warrior bled upon Azaro's stones and cursed Azaro's ilk. He looked upon the walls of his tomb, built by his masters, his enemies, and called for the first ones to carry him to the forest and fields of his Ezomir. Yet while the first ones remained silent, the guide did speak, of secrets planted by clever hands enslaved by gold. And with one such secret, plucked the life of the warrior from the first one's jaws.
Well. There goes that story, I guess. So there's usually some kind of lockbox even in these blank rooms, but I'm not sure that it's worth the time spent here. However, that side trip to the Silver Door seems very interesting. In this early version of the Labyrinth, the Silver Key and Silver Door are actually on the same general dungeon floor, so it seems manageable, I'd say. Is this the way? Yes, it is. I realize I'm tempting fate, but if it turns out that none of this records properly, it'll be very embarrassing. I'm definitely not going through this twice, regardless. Well, unless I have to portal out, which I really do not want to do. Okay. Any more? Of course there's more. One of the nice things about sparks not going where I could possibly tell them to is that they sometimes hit monsters that I did not realize were in the room. Same goes for Herald of Thunder. You could say it's illuminating. I'll show myself out the door. Oh, I was bleeding and did not realize it. Well, I'll probably have to do a full explore of this thing anyway, because the key and the door are pretty far apart from each other in most cases. Any more takers? Maybe? Well, I was reckless there, that's for sure. By the way, in case you think I'm kind of cheating by using teleport to skip certain things, pretty much every class has access to these shenanigans, and don't worry, later labyrinths will have ways of discouraging that kind of thing. That's right, step onto this saw. It's good for you. Well, it's good for me. Am I going around in a full circle? I sure hope not. Looks like it, though. Oh, that's disappointing. But the map doesn't lie. It must be that I simply have not explored the correct places yet. Would be interesting to have an adventure game where maps do kind of lie and you have to apply clues about the personalities and desires of the writers to figure things out. Well, maybe only I would enjoy that. Because I'm a weird person. Well, this shows at least a little bit of promise. I already have one of those. It's a little strange when the monsters are the least scary things about a dungeon. I think I skipped what I was aiming for. Yeah, I definitely want to get to that place with green devices marked on the map. Alright, so well, maybe this will lead over there. Maybe not, I don't know. That was a pretty reckless way to deal with that trap. And useless, too. Aha. That was correct to go this way.
Where there's a silver key, there must be a silver door.
Thank you for that insight into video game organization. I like how some of the traps are kind of broken down and don't work. It has been hundreds of years after all. I expect to see less of this in the later versions of these dungeons. kind of surprised that there are no harbingers here, at least not yet. Maybe they just don't show up in the labyrinth. That is not where I'm going right now. Although it will be once I find the treasure here. Oopsie. Oopsie again. Ah, here we go. Silver door.
Any mystery can be unlocked if one has the right key.
I feel like this guy is a lot less profound than he thinks he is. Well, that's a lot of stuff, to be sure. Still no 4 blue links, though. Still no 4 link anything, really. Such a shame. Well, maybe I can find some good gloves at least. Don't see any, though. Note to self. Simple robe and silk robe are not the same thing. I hate leaving all this neat stuff behind, but I have to conserve inventory. I'm sure people who've played these kinds of games know that feeling quite well. This place is technically featureless, but we've seen that that doesn't necessarily mean there isn't anything interesting. Yeah, these basic monster encounters are interesting to me. They are holding my attention less as I go on. This could get me killed, of course. But hey, maybe I'll save some time this way too. Oh, sure. Okay, something to help prevent my death. I'll gladly go with that. Oh. So Herald of Thunder automatically opens those little walls. Good to know. I definitely would not have seen it on my own. I don't know what that switch does. Oh, and those doors that scratch on either side, I've seen them referred to as tickle doors. They definitely do a bit more than tickle you, though. What is this? It's a secret passage, that's what it is. Oh, mysterious dark shrine. This can be helpful or, not so helpful. Alright, here we go. The first node increases the defenses from equipped shield. In this case, I get more energy shield from it, which I will definitely not say no to.
The pursuit of power can be a grotesque affair.
Always deal critical strikes? Oh, well, that is very kind of you. I'll probably need that. Of course, examining that shrine was a gamble, but if it causes harm to you, like powers you down in some way, you do get a reward later, so it's not all bad. Most shrines do not last very long, but those dark shrines last for the duration of the labyrinth. So, I definitely want to see what's the other way, because I don't want to miss a silver chest. That's where I came from. We must always remember where we came from.